Hello everyone, my name is Holly and welcome back to another video. I have Miso here. Yes, he is a big cat now. He's not a kitten anymore. Everyone wants to see you. He does not like to be held, so I will respect him and let him go. Today's video I'm really excited about because I am going back to old school booktube and just filming a classic old-fashioned book haul. I know for a while now I have been unboxing the book mail packages that I get from publishers. That actually got quite overwhelming for me, and I will go back to those. And trust me, those book mail packages have still been coming every single day. And for the dopamine boost, which trust me, I needed, I've been opening them. So I have this ginormous stack of books in front of me. Seriously, it's like a giant tower. Quite a few of these I am so pumped to read. In fact, I plan to read at least 4 of them in this stack for May. And one of them I'm currently reading. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 books here, and they're not in any particular order at all. I'm kind of just going to grab from the top stack and let's begin. So I know this is a jarring transition, but I do want to take the time to apologize to you guys for the way I've been uploading about a video a month for the past year or so since my epilepsy diagnosis, and I've been trying really hard to put on a happy face through it all and get myself back on the wagon, back on the YouTube game, and I feel like I'm basically there, and it's all thanks to therapy, more specifically BetterHelp, who is sponsoring today's video and where I have personally found a lot of success from. Anxiety does tend to peak this time of year, so if you're interested in starting therapy, BetterHelp could be the right fit for you. It's very accessible and super easy to get started. All you have to do is just fill out a questionnaire and you'll get matched with a therapist in as little as a few days. And if for any reason at all you feel like your therapist isn't quite the right match, you could switch to a different one at no additional cost. And we all know that jiving with someone you're sharing a lot of feelings with is very important. So if you want to rule your anxiety so your anxiety doesn't rule you, just click the link down below in my description box, or you can go to betterhelp.com/hollyheartsbooks for 10% off your very first month of therapy. So the first book that I have here is The Palace of Illusions by Rowena Miller. So this is a book that releases in June, and Rowena Miller is a pretty prominent author from Orbit, or Red Hook, I should say, the like sister publisher of Orbit. And I like to compare her to H.G. Perry. So if you are a fan of H.G. Perry, then I highly recommend checking out Rowena Miller. They are both very whimsical historical fiction fantasy authors. They both write very similarly. So this book here takes place in Paris. It's a historical fiction fantasy, like I said. So it takes place in the early 1900s. There's a world fair that a main character wants to work at, it sounds like. Yeah, she wants to work at one of the centerpieces of the World's Fair, which is a intricate hall of mirrors. You know, the ones that you always like hit your face on and you don't even realize it? The amount of times I did that as a kid when you would walk through the hall of mirrors and just face plant right into a mirror. Ugh, the worst. The PTSD that I feel just talking about it. Anyways, this one comes out in June, so keep an eye out for it. Ooh, next up is actually the book that I'm going to be currently reading, probably tonight, actually. I haven't started it yet. Whisper in the Wind by Luke Arnold. Oh my gosh, I am so excited to have this in my hands. By the way, these were all sent to me from publishers. This was sent to me from Orbit, which I'm so grateful. I have been shouting about these books for years now. This is the 4th one in that series, and it follows Fetch Phillips, who is a detective in a urban fantasy world where he helps out creatures in this universe like vampires, werewolves, the fae. They all live together in this world where magic has disappeared. In this book, it sounds like he wants to retire and open up a cafe. I so desperately want to see how this all goes. It kind of sounds like it's going to be the final book, but I'm unsure. This series could honestly go on forever, and I would be perfectly happy with that. Luke Arnold, by the way, is an actor. He was in the TV series Black Sails, and he's multi-talented because these books are amazing. I already have my Mothman bookmark picked out for this book, which I think is very fitting. Moving along is a very tiny book, and that is Murder by Memory. So this is a cozy sci-fi murder mystery. Becky Chambers meets Miss Marple in this sci-fi ode to the cozy mystery helmed by a formidable no-nonsense auntie of a detective. So as you can tell, it is a very tiny book. You can probably read it in a day or two, but it's also like one of my favorite covers. I really love this cover. The character is just floating in space surrounded by books. I mean, like, dream come true. But yeah, that's really all I know about it, and that's all I want to know about it, with it being a short novella. And I'm really excited about it. This one is out. Oh yeah, by the way, The Whisper in the Wind, let's see, April 22nd. It comes out in April. It's probably out, actually. Yes. It's probably released. Alrighty, moving on to another really exciting book that I am so pumped for, and that is A Song of Legends Lost. It releases on June 3rd, as you can see here on the spine. This is from Saga Press, and oh man, I am so pumped for this. This sounds right up my alley. It's book 1 in a new fantasy trilogy. The back says, A Song of Rebellion, A Song of War, A Song of Legends Lost. Introducing a major epic fantasy debut from a brilliant new voice. It's even blurbed by like every freaking amazing fantasy author ever, including Anthony Ryan. Like, come on. It sounds like it involves like powerful gods, and this kingdom is in a centuries-long war, and our main character is from the slums, and she invokes some powerful spirit that might possibly help her, or it holds the key to ending this long war. I don't know. It sounds so cool. I'm pumped about it, and I will definitely be starting it in May. Actually, you know what? It might be my next read after Whisper in the Wind. We'll see. Up next is Wearing the Lion. This is actually the most recent book that I received, and it came in a box with like a candle. It came with tea, a sticker. So that was really nice of Daw yet again. So this is by the same author who wrote, what was that book called? Someone You Can Build a Nest In. I'll post a picture of it right here. Really cool cover. He has a new, is it historical fiction mythology, I'm assuming? You can kind of tell by the cover. It looks like one of those mythology books, like Ariadne, Circe kind of vibe. Yes, okay, so it follows Hercules, hero of Greece. So it's like a reimagining of Hercules. That's really cool. I don't read a ton of mythology, but I did enjoy this author's previous books, so I am definitely willing to give this one a try. And this is a completely different vibe than Someone You Can Build a Nest In. That one was kind of horror-esque a little bit. Oh, and also this releases on June 17th. Oh man, up next is another book that I'm really pumped about, and that is The Secret Market of the Dead. This releases on July 8th, so a little bit longer of a wait. This is The Night Circus meets Pan's Labyrinth in a Italian-inspired gothic historical fantasy debut. That's a lot of words. In which a young woman competing with her twin brother to inherit the family forge, finds her power in the nocturnal world that lurks beneath her own. If I'm not mistaken, when Daw first announced this book on their Instagram, I believe it mentions a talking cat, or am I thinking of a different book? I think it was this one, and that immediately made me even more hyped about it. So when I got it in the mail, I was like, oh, I need to read this book as someone who freaking loves cats or wears cat shirts every day. Really pumped about this one. All right, up next, we are completely changing genres. We have a book I've never heard of, but it's called Whistle or Whistler? Whistle, it's called Whistle, by Linwood Barclay, a New York Times best-selling author. This looks like a thriller mystery. Oh, it's a supernatural chiller in which a woman and her young son move to a small town looking for a fresh start, only to be haunted by disturbing events and strange visions when they find a mysterious train set in a storage shed. What? A whole train is in a storage shed? What do you mean? Also, it's blurred by Stephen King, and all he said was terrific. Couldn't he have said more? Ah, shit. Possibly ghostly. I can get behind a ghost horror novel. I've been reading a lot of spooky horror books. Actually, I've been reading a lot of middle grade, like scary middle grade and sci-fi horror. In fact, I want to make a video about how my reading tastes have kind of changed in the past year or so. So I'm interested. I'm more interested in it than I would be maybe a couple years ago. I'm willing to give you a shot. When does this release? June. Okay, up next, we're moving back into fantasy. A book I have never heard of before. Comes out May 6th, and it is His Face is the Sun. I don't know anything about it. It says princess, priestess, rebel, thief. Sounds like a YA fantasy, if I'm being honest. Oh yeah, it's source books. It definitely is a YA fantasy. But that's what the cover looks like. It's very pretty. It's mentioning a dark prophecy. Course, it's a YA, that makes sense. It's following a lot of characters, so I'm assuming the princess, priestess, rebel, and thief are all different characters that you're following. Bloodshed is coming, only together do these four have the potential to save the kingdom from destruction. But when the dust has settled, who will sit on the throne? Dun dun dun. Honestly, the cover is the best part about it, in my opinion. It's like very bright. Like imagine that on your bookshelf. Pretty. Okay, we have 2 more books left, and they're both from Orbit. And that first one is one I'm pretty pumped about, and that is the Ashfire King. And that might surprise you. This is the sequel to the wow, I almost said the Starfish. The Stardust Thief. I have a physical copy, but I'm too lazy to grab it. This is the sequel to that. I actually really, really loved that first book. And when did that first book come out? It didn't come out last year, right? It came out the year before. I'm pretty sure that book came out in 2023, if not earlier than that. So unfortunately, though I do remember the very, very end, I remember the cliffhanger that book ended on, I barely remember anything else. So I'm worried about going into the sequel and not remembering the characters, especially with the epilepsy medication that I'm on now. That shit fucks my memory up so bad, and it's making reading sequels even harder. So this is a desert fantasy, adult fantasy, by the way. Didn't our main character like sell like ancient artifacts, and one of them ended up having like a genie in it or something? Something like that. I liked it, and that's all I remember. Okay, final book is also from Orbit, comes out in June. The Mercy Makers by, that's right, you read that right, Tessa Gratton. Tessa Gratton is back with a new fantasy, and oh my goodness, I'm pretty pumped about that. I do really, really love this cover. So this is a, oh, is this a romantasy? Okay, hold on. Hold on, let me like reel in my excitement for a second. A talented heretic must decide between the pursuit of forbidden magic or the ecstasy of forbidden love in the start of a sweeping romantic epic fantasy trilogy. Okay, they didn't blatantly say romantasy. I feel like there's a difference between romantic fantasy and romantasy. Like I know it, to a newbie who is new to books, they would be like, that's the same freaking thing. But I do think there is a difference between that. And maybe this is readable for me. I mentioned in a video earlier this year that I am trying not to promote books I'm not excited about. And one of those genres is romantasy. So I've stopped promoting romantasy in my new release videos. People didn't like that. But I don't promote nonfiction because I don't read nonfiction. I will probably never read nonfiction. I'm not interested in it at all. And people don't get mad at me when I say that. But romantasy is a whole different story, man. Okay. Anyways, I'm excited about this one just because it's Tessa Gratton, and I'm really curious to see if her writing has gotten even better throughout the years. So look out for this one in June. Alrighty, everyone. So that is going to be it for this book haul. A pretty large one, and I'm very excited about all of the books that I have here today. Don't worry, I will get back into book mail unboxings. Those are just so much more fun. Before you go, don't forget to check out that BetterHelp offer. It will be linked down below in my description box for you. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and until we meet again, happy reading.